No time to waste. We go right to the big game. The game you just saw, which wasn't much of a game. Anderson set the tone from the jump. Edgewood gets the ball first, and Anderson's Michael Tincher picks it off and takes it to the house. That puts the Redskins up 7-0, and they never looked back, grounding the Eagles 55-7 to advance to the second round. Anderson winning big tonight. The Redskins advance to the regional semifinals to take on the winner of the Tecumseh Western Brown contest. More on that matchup in just a bit. The Skins one step closer to a return trip to Stark County. And hello to you, Ohio, the greatest football fans in the world, and happy Halloween. This is the Grange Insurance High School sports site for the first Friday recap of the postseason. I'm Dan Franzak, and I'm joined alongside my partners for this and every sports site. It's JJ from JJ Huddle and the captain, Jerry Rosinski. All right, guys, let's get to our big game breakout and big numbers posted for the Skins, Jerry. It could do no wrong tonight. Oh, no, Anderson, this is a classic case in my mind of the rich get richer. You know, we talk about college teams needing that bowl practice. Well, how about a high school team? They went 15 weeks last year as they won their state championship. It paid off tonight. This is a good Anderson team. JJ, really lots of offense here for Anderson, but nothing new for these guys.
No, they're used to doing that. I think the two losses they had during the regular season really refocused these guys. Everybody expected them to go 10-0, and that just didn't happen. But they're used to being in the playoffs now after winning the state title last year, and they're not going to be happy unless they get right back there.
Jerry Anderson, JJ mentioned it, with two losses during the regular season, but they hit their stride going into the playoffs, and garnering that momentum at the right time of the year can really do wonders for a playoff team, especially a team with experience. And you knew earlier in the year that they were going to be a good team. By week 3, they already had wins over a good Taft team and a good Hamilton team. So there they were and getting off and rolling to a good start. But Anderson's a team that offense is going to define them. They have a good enough defense, but this is the 6th time tonight they've gone over 50 points this season. So they're always a physical team. They play a tough schedule. And again, I go back to last year, some of those young guys just getting more and more reps as they went on and on and on in those playoffs. 15 weeks. That's adding an extra 50% to your season. That's a lot more time on the field. Well, the queen of ONN Sports, ONN's Katie Witham, is in the Queen City with the defending state champion Redskins.
I'm here with Coach Giesting. Coach, you told me before the game you had to get on the board early. You scored within a couple of minutes. How important was that?
Oh, it's real important. It was important for us to get ahead because I think they wanted to eat the clock and keep our offense on the sideline. So, you know, we got the defensive score and then we got the stop and went down and scored again. To get up 14-0 was really big for us.
You were able to get a number of players out there. How important was that, and how does this win set you up for next week, which no matter who you play, it's going to be a tough game?
Well, we don't want anybody getting hurt, so we're going to get our guys out as soon as we feel comfortable. And then, you know, our guys, you know, next week, and whether they play 4 quarters or 3 quarters, doesn't matter to them. They're going to come and play next week.
Thanks, Coach. Louis, a great game for you, a couple of touchdowns. How do you feel right now?
I feel good. I think the O-line really helped out a lot, and the defense, they stopped everybody, you know what I'm saying? So that really opened it up for us in the second half and everything.
What do you think the offense did best tonight?
I think our O-line really helped out by blocking. I mean, when they do good, everybody else do good, and that just opens everything up.
What do you take from tonight's game heading into next week?
I think it's just going to help us roll on. We're going to win another one and try and get Region 8.
Thanks, Louis. Good luck to you. Guys, let's send it back up to you.
All right, thanks, Katie. So Anderson now will face either Western Brown or Tecumseh, which just happens to be our marquee matchup for this show. It's the only game of the 96 on tap this weekend that pairs two undefeated teams. Brown is the 7th seed in Region 8. Tecumseh, well, they are the 2 seed and ranked 8th in our latest Division II ONN Power Poll. So out to Spitzer Field we go for our marquee matchup. And we pick things up where else in the first quarter. And the punt, it sails over Broncos' Sean Davis's head. Cal Sanning recovers for the Arrows, 7-0 Tecumseh. Western Brown would answer as Travis Taylor finds Brandon Gregory open in the end zone, tying the game at 7. Second quarter, Arrows take the lead back as Sanning punches it in from 1 yard out for a second touchdown of the night, 13-7 Tecumseh. Arrows with some great D in this one. Zeke Iyer intercepts Travis Taylor's pass, giving the Arrows good field position, setting up the 3-yard touchdown run by Sanning. Number 3 on the night, 20-7 Tecumseh. Third quarter, back to Sanning. And what does he do? Just score touchdowns. This one from 23 yards out, 27-7 Arrows. Later in the third, kicker Carson Williams adds this 24-yard field goal to put the game out of reach, 30-7. And Tecumseh, yeah, you can ring that victory bell. The Arrows hit the bullseye in this one. 44-21 is the final.
When you have 22 guys coming out on the field, 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, playing as hard as they possibly could, that's what happens. 44-21.
Anytime you're 11-0 and playing this well and played a good football team like Western Brown, I have to give their kids a lot of credit. They're a very good football team. They're well coached. And, they kept fighting and competing to the very end. So we have to give them credit, too. When you play another 10-0 team like a Western Brown and come up with a victory like this, I'm awfully proud of them.
All right, time to bring back JJ and Jerry. And JJ, I guess the Arrows are unbeaten for a pretty good reason.
Yes, they're a very good football team. I had made the point I didn't know how good Western Brown was because of their schedule. We were going to find out. 21 points is the lowest point total for them for the season. I just felt that Tecumseh's schedule had prepared them better for the playoffs.
That's a good point. So congrats, Arrows. Up next, the defending state champion, Anderson Redskins. Jerry, what does Tecumseh have to do to stop the Redskins?
Well, they got to go out there and do what they did tonight. We saw the big special teams play early in that game. We saw a 24-yard field goal. We constantly saw Sanning running the ball, that defense making an interception, setting up the score. That's called a complete football game. And this is an offense. They scored 82 points against Stebbins earlier this year. So it might be a shootout against Anderson. We just talked about how good their offense is. So I think it's going to be a good ball game. Tecumseh might have played a little more complete tonight, but I think Anderson overall has a little more horsepower.
Jerry, and I saw your eyes perk up when you saw that interception. Defensive guy always loves those turnovers. Those are big.
That Ohio State-Penn State game, I loved it last week. The two defenses out there, but a lot of offense in Region 8.
JJ, we knew this was going to be a tough region, and boy, it's really playing out that way. We're going to see some shootouts, as Jerry was saying.
Yes, there's some great teams still left. Like you say, Winton Woods is still alive in there. I mean, Kings Mill Kings. It's going to be a shootout, and it's going to be a tough region to win.
All right, coming up next, it's a rivalry matchup from Central Ohio as Watterson looks to avenge a regular season loss to their arch nemesis DeSales. Highlights forthcoming. Plus, you saw the only matchup of undefeated teams, but plenty of other unbeatens in action on Friday. We'll break them down as well as only we can here on the Grange Insurance High School Sports Site.